Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday evening, everyone. We have a major significant storm system with a blizzard possible, plus significant severe weather is possible as well. This is Monday into Tuesday with the severe weather, and then this low will basically is in better alignment with models now where this path is going to be. There's still a little bit of question marks with some wiggle room here and there. So I have moderate forecast confidence as you see on your screen. But we're going to wait for a few more people to come in. But a lot of our followers are in the south here. So the severe weather is going to be a lot more impactful. There's going to be significant severe weather at that on Monday and Tuesday. So we're going to wait for a few more people to get on live here, and then we will get started. All right, good evening, everyone. If you're just now joining us, just make sure that you can hear me for one. And please comment where you're from this evening. And if you would, please click that like button and share this with your friends and family. That'd be great. And then if you're over on YouTube joining our live as well, you can click that thumbs up button for us and just comment where you're from. That'd be great for us to just see what's going on out there and where you're from. It'd be good for us to see. Anyways, so major significant storm system is starting to come into the region tonight and through Tuesday and Wednesday. Significant severe weather is on the table here across the south, especially along the Gulf Coast, through from Texas Gulf Coast all the way to Florida, and then up the eastern seaboard towards North Carolina. Most of the Western to central Gulf Coast is going to be under the gun tomorrow. And then going towards Tuesday, we're talking about Florida, Georgia, up towards South and North Carolina. We're going to go over the severe weather first because that's very important. I know everybody's focused on winter weather and stuff like that. You need to be, especially in the South, you're going to have to be patient when it comes to winter weather, trying to get into our area here, which it's going to come. It's just we have to get this cold Arctic air push by the mid-month, and that storm track will start coming more and more south in time, and then we'll be in business here further south here into the area. But significant severe weather, we need to pay attention to this. Like I said, everybody's focused on snow, winter weather, severe weather can be very deadly, especially if you're caught off guard. So we have to talk about it this evening first and foremost. And then we're going to talk about this major blizzard that's going to happen up towards basically New Mexico, Colorado, Texas Panhandle here, Oklahoma Panhandle through Kansas, parts of Missouri into Iowa, Nebraska, and then up through Illinois into the Great Lakes. There is going to be some wraparound snow as this low pressure basically tracks from just right around south of Oklahoma City, north or east northeast through northern Arkansas, southern Missouri. Now the track is still, it could go just wobble a little bit south or further north. If it wobbles a little bit further south, then we're going to get a little bit more wraparound snow into Oklahoma, into Arkansas, and then possibly in through possibly northern Tennessee as this low passes into Kentucky as well. There may be a little bit more accumulation. So I do have accumulation map. It's basically preliminary at the moment because I just don't have a lot of confidence, especially in the southern edge of this. It could go up or down pretty quickly. So I'll show you that here in just a little bit. But like I said, if you are traveling basically north of I-44 Monday through Tuesday, Wednesday, there's going to be a raging blizzard. I-70 is going to be a major interstate impacted, basically from eastern Colorado all the way through Kansas, all the way through Missouri as well. Once you get to closer to St. Louis, it'll start slacking up. But still, this storm is going to pack a punch. We're talking, like I said, blizzard-like conditions, or actually a blizzard conditions, basically, like I said, from Texas all the way up towards Wisconsin in through Illinois. And a lot of these areas back here in Texas, Oklahoma, parts of Kansas, Nebraska is expecting wind gusts of up to 65 miles an hour with these heavy snow bands that are coming. So it is going to be whiteout conditions out there. Driving will not be recommended. I mean, you won't be able to drive in that. So do not even, if you live out there, you just need to hunker down because I-70, I promise you, at some point will probably be closed. And then I-80 is going to be in the next major impacted, basically from Wyoming all the way through Nebraska, Iowa, in through parts or most of Illinois as well. All right, first and foremost, let's get into the basically the United States here. We'll look at the map here. So there is a lot going on. You see up here towards the Pacific Northwest, there's blizzard warnings up this way for that storm system. Another storm system is dropping down here. We got freeze warnings, freeze advisories down in southern parts of the deserts of the Southwest. You know, winter storm warnings over here in New Mexico, Colorado. And once you get to these bright red areas here, that is blizzard warnings. And I do expect these will be expanded even further northeast to possibly Nebraska, some of Kansas, up here towards possibly Iowa and northern Missouri within time. Just south of that, we have winter weather advisory just north of I-44 Missouri. These will expand probably a little bit further south as the confidence level goes up on snowfall south of I-44 here. But winter storm watches eastern Iowa through northeastern Missouri into west central to northern parts of Illinois and southern Wisconsin. These will be all upgraded to warnings by the morning, I would assume. So you're probably wondering, what is all this down here through Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, covers basically the whole state. These are wind advisories. We're going to have winds 25, 35, possibly gusts to 45 to 50 miles an hour, especially these higher elevations up here in Arkansas, up in the Ozarks, Ouachita, southern Missouri. And then as you get out towards the plains of Oklahoma, out towards the panhandles of Texas, Oklahoma, up here towards Kansas, we're going to have gusts of 65 plus miles an hour. So that's, that's just 9 to 10 miles an hour shy of hurricane force winds. So this is going to be a nasty blizzard coming up through that area here through the central United States. Like I said, major travel impacts is possible across that area. So this is just the first of one of many storms that are going to be coming, plus a major Arctic outbreak, which we have been talking about since our winter outlook back in August, that mid-January and on is going to be the focus point of winter, and that's when basically the Arctic hammer is going to be coming down. Polar Express is going to be coming south very, very soon, and we expect that by next weekend. All right, first and foremost, severe weather. This is for Monday. It's tomorrow. Significant severe weather is possible. Basically, we have an enhanced risk from New Orleans over to Baton Rouge, Mobile, Alabama, then over towards Gulfport, Mississippi, and over towards the panhandle of Florida as well. And then we have a slight risk for Houston, over to Lafayette, Louisiana, Beaumont, up towards just southwest of Montgomery, Alabama here. So we're expecting severe thunderstorms capable of strong wind gusts, 70 plus miles an hour is possible. Tornadoes are expected from southwest Texas across the central Gulf Coast from Monday afternoon into early Tuesday morning. So a lot of this is going to come after dark tomorrow, which is very, very worrisome. So we have to pay attention to this. The greatest severe potential is anticipated overnight from southeastern Louisiana across southern Mississippi and southern Alabama into western Florida panhandle. So like I said, most of this is going to come at night. So this is not a good thing at all. All right, here is the tornado potential. Significant tornadoes could be possible, especially across this hatched area across southern or southeastern parts of Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern parts of Alabama, over towards the Gulf Coast of Florida, the panhandle of Florida as well. So anywhere in this hatched area, the possibility of EF2 or greater tornado is possible within also the yellow here, in the yellow here, the 10 to 14% probability of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. But that hatched area has a significant concern for the possibility of a significant tornado of EF2 or greater in intensity across. All right, here is the wind outlook, severe wind outlook, basically straight line winds. So significant possibilities of this down southeastern parts of Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, over towards the Florida panhandle. The possibility of significant wind gusts of greater than 74 miles per hour is possible across this area. So, like I said, this is very concerning. I know everybody's excited about winter weather, but this is going to be a very dangerous situation coming into the area, parts of this area, and tomorrow into Tuesday. So let's take a look at Tuesday's outlook as well. All right, here we are for Tuesday. We have an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms over the Florida Panhandle, southeastern Alabama, and southwest Georgia. This is for Tuesday. Strong to severe thunderstorms may impact much of the eastern Gulf and southern Atlantic coast. On Tuesday, accompanied by a risk of a damaging wind gusts, 60, 70 miles an hour, and tornadoes is possible across this area. So all the way up, basically, we have a slight risk all the way up through North Carolina, Outer Banks, over towards Wilmington, Charleston, Columbia, down to Jacksonville, Florida, Tampa, and over towards Melbourne of Florida. So this is a very dangerous risk. A lot of this is going to come overnight on Monday night in through Tuesday. So this is something you guys need to pay attention to, especially if you live along the Gulf Coast here. This is not something to take lightly, as we could get some significant, possibly significant tornadoes and significant straight line winds possible tomorrow night. So now's the time to get your weather radio out. Make sure the battery's fresh on it. Make sure you're, especially tomorrow night, make sure your phones are charged. Stay weather aware, and make sure you have a way to get warnings, and make sure you have a plan in place to know where to go in case a tornado hits your location. All right, along with that severe weather, now we got that away. Please stay weather aware. You have to have a way to get watches and warnings to your phone, or if you have a no weather radio. Like I said, make sure that thing is has a fresh battery in case there's a power outage, so you can continue to get watches and warnings in case of power outages down that way. Now, what comes with this? Going to be very heavy rain as well. 1 to 3 inches is possible, possibly locally higher amounts, especially across parts of Louisiana into Alabama, parts of Mississippi, Alabama, over towards Georgia as well, and then up here towards Arkansas, into northern parts of Mississippi, in through Tennessee, Kentucky here, possibly 1 to 2 inches of rain possible, locally higher amounts, of course, in that area. Alrighty, we get towards the East Coast here. This is just precipitation through Wednesday afternoon. Uh, down here towards the Gulf Coast, especially Alabama, towards the Panhandles of Florida, maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain possibly, and then as you get up here towards the Carolinas, 2 to 3 possibly inches, all the way up into parts of Virginia and the East Coast of the United States. This is just through Thursday. And a lot of this precipitation back here towards Missouri, into northern parts of Illinois. This is all going to be in the form of snow over the next few days. All right, in case anyone just kind of jumped in, once this live is over, you can go back and rewatch it. Severe weather is the main focus here across the South. We have a lot of followers down in this neck of the woods, so we need to stay vigilant and stay weather aware, especially Monday afternoon, Monday night, especially Monday night through Tuesday. Significant tornadoes is possible, significant straight line winds. So please stay weather aware around that area. Now, if, like I said, if you're just joining in here, this is where what we think is going to happen. A lot of this in the pink is going to be after this low comes through the area. You're going to have some backlash snows possibly into northern Arkansas, northern Oklahoma here, and then as this low passes through basically into Indiana, the backside of this is going to be very cold. You're going to have some upslope flow into the Appalachians here. It's going to be some snow up here into parts of West Virginia, Ohio, northern Kentucky. All this up here towards the east of New York, Pennsylvania. It's going to start out as snow and then transition to rain as this low basically gets going. Because there's a lot of the depths of the cold air is pretty deep up here at the moment, but as this low gets closer, like I said, it's going to be snowing for a little bit, and then it's going to transition to rain eventually up that way. All right, so I'm going to get into future radar here, and then I'm going to show you some snowfall totals for this storm. Alrighty, this is the HRRR. This is actually the 00Z run, so I can go out to 48 hours to show you what exactly is happening. So the next 2 days. So this is starting right around 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So you can see the rain is really starting to break out across southern Kansas into Oklahoma. The snow is starting to break out here in parts of Colorado into New Mexico, Kansas, snow up here towards South Dakota, northern parts of Iowa, in through northern parts of Nebraska. Alrighty. So then as we go forward here, you can see this is really ramping up, and there's almost a line of very heavy rain to some thunderstorms down here in Texas that could be possibly down through here. Central parts of Oklahoma, very heavy rain. You see the snow is really starting to pick up across the I-70 corridor through central into eastern parts of Kansas. Very, very heavy snow. I'm going to show you some hourly snow rates here, which are pretty impressive. And then along with that, 65-mile-an-hour gusts is going to be pretty intense across this area. All right, so like I said, this is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then as we transition in through about 10 o'clock, this snow really starts taking off here in eastern parts of Kansas, uh, parts of most of Nebraska here, and then back the backlash snows is starting back here in northeastern or northwestern parts of Kansas, eastern Colorado, and through parts of Texas here and through Oklahoma. Now, this is really going to start ramping up, and then here comes the storms that are starting to develop down here off the Gulf Coast. Is going to come on board here to Louisiana. This is starting about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Thunderstorms ongoing down here through Texas, eastern Texas. Very heavy rain across the western and northern Arkansas, southern Missouri. Like I said, this is 1 o'clock, and you get up towards Kansas City. Rain can be changing to snow around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then it really starts getting going. This is 3 o'clock, central Arkansas, all the way through Little Rock, Hot Springs, down through Texarkana, uh, Shreveport. Very heavy rain, possibly some thunderstorms embedded with this line, and then lots of rain and thunderstorms down here through southern part of Louisiana. Very heavy snows across parts of Nebraska into Iowa, getting into northwestern parts of Missouri, and very, very windy as well. So as this rain transitions to snow pretty quickly across northern Missouri in through Kansas, uh, roads and roads will deteriorate very quickly with these heavy snow rates, plus 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds, plus, like I said, out here towards the plains, 60, 65-mile-an-hour gusts. It's going to be whiteout conditions. You do not want to be caught traveling in these conditions out that way, because we hate to see you get stranded out, especially out here when you get into these very severe conditions that could be possible through here. So 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock, really snowing across southern Iowa into northern Oklahoma or northern Missouri, northern Kansas, backlash snows into parts of Texas, and then lots of thunderstorms, possibly severe storms as we get towards 5 o'clock towards southeastern parts of Louisiana. Lots of rain towards eastern Arkansas, starting to bleed into parts of Tennessee, into Mississippi as we get towards 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Like I said, lots of snow ongoing up here towards Missouri. As we get towards 6, 7 o'clock, lots of snow now into parts of Illinois, all of Iowa, basically that's getting hammered, and then back here into Kansas, more backlash snows back into here. We're expecting some big accumulations, basically from Kansas all the way through Iowa into parts of Illinois. All right, and severe weather will be possibly ongoing here across southeastern parts of Louisiana. This is 7 o'clock. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Snow could be getting really close to St. Louis, maybe the suburbs just north of there. Very heavy snow into central Illinois. Then backlash snows into parts of Kansas. All right, so more storms ongoing into Louisiana, and then this is going to basically develop into a line. You got to watch these, especially ahead of this line. These individual storms out ahead of this line, those are going to be capable of producing some tornadoes out that way. So, like I said, heads up. Basically, all the Gulf Coast from Texas all the way through the Florida Panhandle for tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, in through Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday I'll get to the east here and show you as far as this thing will go. But this thing really wraps up. So here we go. The low is basically tracking across southern Missouri, going up towards Illinois. Backlash snow starting to get into parts of Arkansas, in through Missouri here, southern Missouri, Look at this line of storms out here towards Alabama, into Florida, into parts of Georgia now. I'm going to go east, and so you can see this. So you can see where the cold air up here towards West Virginia is still there. So some snow in the higher elevations, rain, then the mix and snow up here towards northern Ohio. Lots of snow up here in Michigan. Solid big line of storms all the way through the Gulf, through like I said, through Florida and Alabama. This is 6 a.m. on Tuesday. You see the transition here. Huge lines of storms here. Uh, if this plays out, there's going to be some very bad, damaging straight line winds, probably 60, 70 plus miles an hour with this line of storms. So I think as of right now, there's going to be a tornado threat on Tuesday, but I think the main threat could be straight line winds on Tuesday. Significant straight line winds, that is. I think the significant tornadoes will be very high for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, especially. Like I said, if you now's the time to plan on where you're going to go in case tornado warning comes to your area, and then make sure you get that. Have a way to get watches and warnings, so you know what to do. And like I said, a lot of this is going to come overnight Monday night across the central Gulf Coast here. Wraparound snows into Missouri, in through northern Arkansas, possibly as far south as Fort Smith. I think the higher terrain here in northern Arkansas may get some accumulations as they transition a little bit faster. And like I said, up here in the higher elevations of Arkansas, there could be gusts up to 50 miles an hour across that area the next few days. So backlash snows basically from Fayetteville over towards Mountain Home, into West Plains, Springfield, up towards Rolla, basically. And then this thing starts wrapping up, and then big time line of storms coming through Florida, into parts of South Carolina, and into North Carolina as well. And you see up here towards the northeast, basically goes from snow to rain pretty quickly as this low tries to transition up towards that area. Now, as this low comes through, more backlash snows into parts of Iowa, into Illinois. Could be some backlash snows even into parts of Tennessee, into Kentucky as we go into Tuesday night, into Wednesday morning. So that's something to bear watch. Now, the low pressure tracks could be, like I said, it could wobble a little bit. It could come a little bit further south. Could come a little bit further north. So let's take a look at what we think the accumulations could be snowfall wise across the area here. All right, there is a lot going on with this map now. Okay, so this is a possible snow accumulations. I have moderate confidence in this map at the moment because of this southern area here. So if there is a jog with this low pressure a little bit further south, these snow accumulations will come south with it. Okay, so this is my big question. Basically, I-44 from basically Oklahoma City to St. Louis and south of there. That's my biggest area of concern or question. Question that is of snow accumulations. It can either go up or it could come down. I think as far as backlash knows, I think the most favorite area of getting some accumulations, especially over an inch, may be the higher terrain of northwestern Arkansas, as far as that goes. Now, as you get up towards I-44, basically north of there, I think 1 to 3 plus is possible. Once you get up towards the I-70 corridor in Missouri, 3 to 6 in this darker area, basically going from all the way towards southern Michigan through Chicago, basically Springfield, Missouri, or Springfield, Illinois. Sorry about that. Down here to right around Wichita, then back towards the northern panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. Once we get into the pink areas, we think 6 to 12 plus is possible, basically from northwestern or northeastern parts of New Mexico through most of western to northern Kansas, through northern Missouri, and then in through parts of west central to northern parts of Illinois. 6 to 12-inch plus. Like I said, blizzard conditions are possible. A lot of these winds up here will be 40 to 45-mile-an-hour gusts. Back here in the plains will be 60, 65. And then down here towards Ozarks with a little bit higher elevations, especially in the higher elevations, could be gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour. Now, when we get in the purple here, basically from far northeastern parts of New Mexico, basically a band all the way through northern parts of Kansas, eastern Nebraska, through most of southern Iowa, in through parts of northwestern Illinois, possibly into southern Wisconsin. 8 to 14 inches is possible, maybe even higher amounts with these bands that are coming through. That's one thing I forgot to show you is how there's going to be 2 to 3 inch hour rates across parts of this area, especially. Plus, you add on to those significant snow bands with 2 to 3 inches an hour, plus those 50 to 60 plus mile an hour gusts. It's gonna be absolutely blinding snow. You not be able to drive and be whiteout conditions when that happens. So that's why I think the blizzard severity index is severe. That's about the we have like five levels here. There's catastrophic and severe. So I think it's going to be in a severe category. Winter storm to Tennessee is going to be there's going to be a major winter storm across this area for the next few days. And this is just one. I know I've been going on for 30 minutes about this one storm, but the severe weather to this storm is going to be the major story for the South coming in. I know, like I said, everybody's excited about winter weather, including myself, but severe weather is very dangerous, especially if you're caught off guard. And a lot of it is coming overnight, Monday night into Tuesday across the southern Gulf Coast. So we have to stay weather aware down that area. I can't stress enough that we need to be prepared down in that area. All right. All right, let's get into the Arctic or the Polar Express that's going to come in the area with possibly 40 to 50 below average at times. Once we get into next weekend, which is right around mid-month, we've been talking about this since August, that this time period between basically mid-January and on was going to be a backloaded winter, very cold, possibly stormy conditions, lots of winter weather chances, and that is what's coming towards mid-month and beyond. Okay, so this is basically now, like I said, we have that low pressure coming through Tuesday. Lots of warm weather out ahead of it because we have that southerly, southwesterly wind across most of the area here. And then backlash is going to be some colder weather through the southeast. A little bit of warm up ahead of this next system that comes in on Thursday, or I'm sorry, Friday. And then that really cools off. And then here comes the Polar Express. It's really starting to show its teeth over here towards western parts of Canada. This should slide straight down on the east side of the Rockies here, slide straight down into Texas. And this is going to be a brutal wave that comes all the way into next week. Or the following week. So next weekend and the following week is going to be stupid cold, 40 to 50 to 60 below average is possible. When you see Barney colors, that is bad news. That is bad news across the area. And I'm going to show you what the departure averages is. I'm going to zoom in here so I can show you. But everybody's going to, I know there's already going to be questions. Well, is this going to come east? Well, yes, this is going to come east. And as we get towards the 17th, it's basically encompassing most of the United States besides the far east coast, but that will get there in time. Okay. All right. Here is the first part of the Arctic push. This is next Friday night into Saturday. And then this is a little bit of it comes in behind that. It's a low pressure that comes through. And then it tries to warm up a little bit in Texas because the next big Arctic front's trying to push down at the same time. And then watch out. Look at this. This is going to be unbelievable. We're talking 30 to 40 to 50 below average across most of Texas, actually all of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, getting into the Ozarks here, I think this is a little bit overdone here on how much you're going to be below normal because of the Ozarks here. Things going to be there's going to be a little bit of a dam here holding that up, but it will break eventually. But the cold rollover air likes to basically funnel down or try to work its way around the Ozarks before the dam breaks, and then it will start flooding east in time here. So as we get even towards the 17th, still looking at 30 to 40 to possibly 50 below average across most of the area here. So this is very brutal conditions. I'm going to show you the possibilities of temperatures. I'm going to show you the possibilities of wind chills. This is going to be very dangerous cold. And like I said, we've been talking about this since August in our winter weather outlook, and we've been hitting it really hard on the supporter hub for months now, and we've been showing the public for almost a month now of the possibilities of this major cold coming into the United States around mid-month of January. So let's take a look at possible temperatures across the area here. Alrighty, I'm just telling you right now, this is going to be a shock. So this is going to be a major Arctic outbreak, pipe busting cold, dangerous wind chills, frostbite cold too, as well. So this is not wind chills that are coming. These are actual air temperatures that are coming into the region here. So you see where the Arctic front is, basically hung up in the Ozarks here and then plowing through Texas. I've had questions before. Why does it come straight into Texas and doesn't come east? Well, like I said, because we have the Ozarks here, higher elevations, that low-level Arctic air kind of banks up against the higher terrain here of the Ozarks, kind of sits there, tries to start working around, and then head down the Delta regions before the dam breaks across the Ozarks, and then that cold will be coming east after that. But look at some of these temperatures. Possibly Saturday into Sunday, 60s, 70s, maybe even an 80-degree reading across southern parts of Texas. And I promise you, I'm going to have a person that comes on here and be like, where is this Arctic cold? You're wrong. You're just doing this because of height. No, I am not. I'm trying to get you all prepared. And then that 80-degree or upper 70s to 80-degree temperature is going to be dropping to probably the 20s as we go forward. So let's take a look. This is Monday afternoon. These are Monday afternoon highs. Okay. These are high temperatures possibly on Monday, the 15th of January. So we're talking mid 20s around Dallas, single digits below zero, possibly across northern Texas. So we're going to have basically maybe around zero in Amarillo. You go down here towards Houston, maybe in the mid 70s still. Unbelievable temperature spreads across just one state here. Look at this up here towards the Dakotas. 15 to 20 to 25 below zero. These are actual air temperatures. This is not wind chills. This is not wind chills. Okay. So then as we get basically overnight, Monday the 15th into Tuesday, like I said, timing is going to be off a little bit here. It could come in a lot faster than this. But I want to show you how dangerous cold this is going to be coming into the area. Like I said, I've been saying this time and time again. This almost looks like a February 2021 look that's coming into Texas and the rest of the area here as we go into basically the 15th or the mid-month and on. Okay, so this is possible low temperatures on Tuesday morning. Below zero across most of Oklahoma, northern parts of Texas here, 10 to 15 below zero, all the way up into parts of Kansas, into Nebraska, Iowa. You get up here towards Minnesota, North Dakota, could be almost 40 below zero. These are not wind chills. These are actual temperatures. So as we go towards daytime highs, possibly on Tuesday, all the way down the Gulf Coast is below freezing now, where they just had 70s 2 days prior. It's going to be below freezing all the way down to the Gulf Coast, so possibly even the Houston area. You get up here towards Dallas, it could be in the upper teens on Tuesday for highs. Tuesday the 16th. Okay. So I'm keep on harping on this, but this is going to be dangerous cold that's coming into the region. And I've been talking about this. for a while to get y'all prepared, and especially the supporter hub. We've been talking about it for a long time. Uh, and then once we get this Arctic blast through this area, the low pressure tracks, the storm tracks will come south, and there's going to be more winter weather chances across the board, even as far south as Louisiana into Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and then off towards the East Coast as well in time. So we have to stay patient on that, especially in the south here across this area. So once we get into these are possible low temperatures. These are possible low temperatures on Wednesday the 17th. Now, I'm not trying to hype. I'm not trying to get you all like in a panic mode, but this is the kind of air that's going to be worked into the pattern. And if there is a huge snowpack, basically, across Kansas, Missouri, Colorado, through Illinois and north of there, there's going to be no stopping this air that comes into the region. It is not going to moderate at all, and it's going to fly down that snowpack and come straight into Texas, and it could be colder than this if that scenario plays out. But dangerous cold is coming into the pattern. It's going to be pipe busting cold. And we're talking, I mean, if this model came true, we're talking 10 to 15, possibly 20 below zero. This is just air temperature. This is actual temperatures across Oklahoma into Kansas, possibly up in here to Missouri, Iowa, and of course up into the northern plains. Could be 10 below zero in Chicago. Right around Dallas could be right around 2 to 5 degrees. Get down here towards the southern Gulf Coast of Texas, could be in the upper teens to low 20s. So it's going to be very, very dangerous. And you get over towards Louisiana, it could be 9 to 10 degrees for lows. Okay. Get towards northeastern Arkansas, could be below zero. And then as you get towards northern parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, could be single digits. Single digits. This is not wind chills. I'm going to show you wind chills now, which is going to be very dangerous. Going to be frostbite if you have any exposed extremities when you go outside. You need to be thinking about that. You have a couple, 10 or so days, or right around 7 to 10 days until this major Arctic air really gets into the pattern here. And it's going to be very dangerous cold. So you have some time to prepare for this, but it's coming, and it's going to be very dangerous. All right, let's take a look at wind chills real quick. This is remember what I told you that next weekend it could be very nice across southern Texas into Louisiana. Like I said, I'm going to have some people coming in here that they're going to blast me saying I was hyping all of it and we got worried for nothing, and then all of a sudden we're going to get into this kind of air. These could be possibly wind chills a couple days after you were just in the 70s in Louisiana, parts of Tennessee or Texas into Mississippi, possibly. We're talking below zero wind chills all the way through central Texas, even into parts of southern Texas. As we go into mid-month here, below zero wind chills all the way through Mississippi into Alabama, possibly northern Georgia, and north of there. And then as you get further north, especially when you get towards the Ozarks, over here towards Oklahoma, parts of the panhandles of Texas into Oklahoma as well, 10, 15, 20, possibly up to 30 below zero wind chills. Frostbite concerns are going to be very likely across this area. You get north of there, you get up towards Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska. We're talking 20 to 35 below zero wind chills. And then up towards Iowa, 30 to 40 below zero wind chills. Then we get up towards the northern plains here, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, possibly 40 to 50 to 55 to 60 below zero wind chills. In that kind of air, you will get frostbite in possibly minutes if you have any exposed extremities. So this is going to be very dangerous. I can't stress this enough. It's going to be very dangerous cold coming into the pattern. All right. So this is your basically your probably 18th warning for me that this is coming, and a lot of local meteorologists and stuff are starting to show that this stuff is coming as well. So there's a lot of outlets out there that are showing there's going to be major Arctic cold coming into the area. I'm just showing you the possibilities of how cold it possibly could get. What you see on your screen is possible wind chills when this Arctic blast comes mid-month. Okay. All right, let's get into possible storm systems, especially late this week. There could be another possible snowstorm that comes in late Friday into Saturday. Okay, I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. So here is the first storm coming in tonight in through Tuesday. See backlash snows in Arkansas, Missouri. Lots of snows up that way. And then here comes the second system. A little bit more snow across Missouri into Illinois. And then another system's coming Friday night into Saturday. And this one is coming a little bit further south. But you've seen storms in the winter. These tracks are either going to come north or going to come south within time. So don't pay attention on specific details at this point. But if this model came true, we could have some heavy snow across central Arkansas to northeastern Arkansas, and maybe even western Tennessee to Kentucky. So there's hope. There's hope for you all out there that are snow lovers for this to come that way. And then after that, kind of dies down for a few days, and then here comes the next system. It could be freezing rain, sleet, snow ongoing there. This is going to dive south, even into parts of Louisiana, into parts of Mississippi, and then after that, it gets really cold, like I said. And then, like I said, there's going to be more storms after this once we get this Arctic air really pushed into the area. So there's multiple opportunities for significant severe or significant winter weather across the area going forward. As soon as we get this cold into the pattern, the storm track will come further south, and then the rest of us will have opportunities of winter weather across the area. Now, let's get back to what I think could happen over the next few days. So, low pressure is basically going to go from the south of Oklahoma City through northern Arkansas, through southern Missouri. That's the latest ensemble cluster track at the moment. Some go a little bit further south of this, some go a little bit further north of this. That's what I'm saying. That's why I have modern confidence in this basically map right now. This low could overproduce winter weather as well. It's going to be a very strong system, lots of wind, significant severe weather across the south. We have to stay vigilant and weather aware across the south, the Gulf Coast, because significant tornadoes are possible as we go into tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and into Tuesday as we head east in through the Carolinas as well. All right. So, like I said, this low pressure tracks a little bit further south. We could get more backlash snows into Oklahoma, Arkansas, possibly into Tennessee, into Kentucky as this low passes. If this goes a little bit further north, then the snow chances go further north, and the rain comes further north as well. So modern confidence is right now. Like I said, there's going to be some wiggle room where this low actually comes out, and where we're going to get rain transitioning to snow. So this is my latest thinking at the moment. So stay tuned on that. And here is the snowfall map across this area. I think we're going to have our blizzard severity index goes up to catastrophic. We're in severe category. We're going to have 60, 65-mile-an-hour gusts out here in the plains. And then with snow rates of 2 to 3 plus inches an hour across Iowa into Nebraska, in through parts of Kansas. There's going to be whiteout conditions possible across that area. Travel will be impossible. So don't even try to think about it. I-70 could be closed at some point, possibly even I-80. So that's something you need to put in the back of your mind. And there's plenty of apps out there that can show road conditions in each state. So please get those downloaded if you are traveling. But there's major snows are coming from parts of Kansas all the way through Iowa into Wisconsin. In the purple there, 8 to 14 inches plus is possible. And then as you go further south, I mean, a bigger question down here in the south here, basically from Springfield to Rolla to Tulsa, south and east of there, just north and south of there, basically I-44 corridor, a little bit north, a little bit south of there. If this low comes south, a little bit more south, then the snow chances and the accumulations will come a little bit further south across this area. If it goes further north, you basically kiss the snow chances goodbye, especially in northern Arkansas into possibly into northeastern Oklahoma as well. So that's the latest. There's a lot going on. So stay tuned for sure. But the big story, this brutal blizzard that's happening the next few days, plus significant severe weather along the Gulf Coast. Basically, like I said, from southeastern Texas through southern Louisiana and all the way up towards North Carolina on Tuesday. Most of this severe weather is going to come after dark, so that's going to be um, dangerous in itself coming across the area. Okay, so like I said, this is just the first of many systems to come. Brutal Arctic air is coming. I showed you the possibilities of wind chills of minus minus numbers, minus single digits, below zero, all the way down into Texas, possibly Louisiana, and deep in the South here. So very dangerous cold is coming. You might want to talk to your kids if you have any ponds in your neighborhood or around your property. You might want to talk to your kids about not walking on thin ice, because if we get this kind of cold coming into the area, you're going to get some ponds that freeze over. You're going to have a like a small little layer of ice, and the kids, if they don't know, they'll just walk out on it, think they can just walk across it, and then all of a sudden they fall in. Then hypothermia kicks in. So we don't want that. So now's the time to probably start talking about that, and then pipe insulation would be a great to make sure all your pipes are insulated. And then once we get closer, I'll probably start talking about maybe at running, making sure your pipes are or your faucets are dripping at night, throughout the day, so we don't get that frozen, your pipes freeze. This is going to be a lot of things we're going to have to talk about over the next week to get you all prepared. And then if you have any outside animals, you got to get that. You got to get them prepared as well. If you have any dogs or cats outside, you might want to think about possibly bringing them in. You have about a week or so before the cold air really starts hitting into the area, so you have time to start preparing for that. Because we basically, when the cold comes, we say protect your pets, protect your pipes, protect your people, check on the elderly, check on your neighbors, do the right thing out there. So to help everybody out, because this is going to be a brutal Arctic outbreak that comes later this month. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. And we're going to have the long range and the supporter hub probably in the next few days. And then we're going to talk about, after we get this system out of here, we're going to talk about the next system Friday into Saturday, which could bring more winter weather further south. And then as this Arctic air comes into the area, the storm track will come south with it. And then the rest of us in Texas, possibly into parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama will have more possibilities of winter weather going forward. Okay. All right. Everyone have a good rest of your Sunday evening out there. And please stay safe over the next few days, especially across the Gulf Coast with the significant severe weather and possibly a significant tornadoes as well. And then especially across the I-70 to I-80 corridor across Kansas, eastern Colorado through Missouri up to Iowa, Nebraska, northern Illinois. Blizzard-like conditions, travel will be almost impossible across those areas. Have a great evening, everyone, and thank you so much for watching.